Army Captain Stephen Harris was a prisoner of war in Vietnam for years, enduring torture and isolation.
One guard, a young Vietnamese soldier named Tran, was particularly cruel, beating Stephen regularly and mocking his suffering.
Stephen survived by fantasizing about revenge against Tran. After Stephen's release, he carried hatred for Tran for 40 years, imagining what he'd do if they ever met again.
In 2015, Stephen received an unexpected letter forwarded through veterans organizations. It was from Tran, now living in California as a refugee. Tran wrote, "I am the guard who hurt you.
I write to say I am deeply sorry. I was young, scared, and following orders.
I have carried guilt for 40 years. I don't ask for forgiveness, only that you know I regret what I did." Stephen's first reaction was rage.
This man who had tortured him wanted absolution.
But something made Stephen keep reading. Tran's letter continued, "I became a nurse after the war, trying to heal to make up for the pain I caused. I have spent 40 years serving others to atone. I wanted you to know that you were not hurt by a monster, but by a scared boy who became a man filled with regret." Stephen struggled with whether to respond.
His therapist suggested meeting Tran might bring closure. Stephen agreed, and they met at a park in San Diego. Seeing Tran, now an elderly man, Stephen felt his rage dissolve into something more complex.
Tran bowed deeply and said in broken English, "I am sorry. I hurt you. I was wrong." Stephen looked at Tran and saw not the cruel guard, but a broken old man carrying his own trauma.
Stephen said, "I hated you for 40 years.
That hatred poisoned me.
I don't know if I can forgive you, but I am willing to try letting go of the hate." They talked for hours.
Tran explained that he had been conscripted at 15, brutalized by his own commanders, and taught that Americans were monsters. When Tran saw Stephen's humanity despite the propaganda, it broke something in him. Stephen shared his own story of survival and suffering. By the end, both men were crying. Stephen said, "We were both victims of that war. You were a child following orders, and I was a soldier doing my duty. Maybe we can both forgive ourselves and each other." Stephen and Tran developed an unlikely friendship.
They now speak together at reconciliation events, showing that even the deepest wounds can heal. At one event, an audience member asked Stephen, "How can you forgive someone who tortured you?"
Stephen replied, "Because holding on to hatred was torturing myself. Tran carried guilt for 40 years, and I carried rage for 40 years. We were both prisoners even after the war ended. Forgiveness freed us both." Stephen learned that forgiveness isn't about excusing what happened, but about refusing to let what happened control your life forever.
That enemies are often as damaged by war as victims.
And that the bravest thing a warrior can do is choose peace over revenge.